Hey everybody, Travis Bowman here. I'm a fingerstyle guitar player and retro video game nerd. The Sega Dreamcast is one of my favorite consoles of all time, and a lot of people don't remember that it was one of the first consoles to truly embrace online gameplay. Admittedly, we didn't have a ton of online gameplay for the Dreamcast back in its day, but we did get a few first-person shooters as well as one of the best MMORPGs of all time. Playing the Sega Dreamcast online in its day will forever be one of my greatest gaming memories. But it doesn't have to be a memory of the past. With modern technology, we can still get our Sega Dreamcast back online. Okay, so what is the DreamPi? It's a device that you can purchase for a decent price that will allow you to connect your Sega Dreamcast back online to the internet. You have an option of using an Ethernet cable, or you could go the Wi-Fi route. If you really think about it, that's actually a really phenomenal achievement. I mean, we're talking about the Sega Dreamcast, which is nearly a 30-year-old console, and we can still get it back online with Wi-Fi. That's pretty insane. We've got a 3-piece kit that will allow us to accomplish this. First things first, we're going to need a Raspberry Pi, and we're also going to need a USB modem and a phone line. And that's it. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly how this thing works and the in and outs of all this, but what I can tell you is that it's actually pretty easy to understand and set up, especially if you walk through the guide that will show you every step that you need to take to make this possible. The name DreamPi is a play on words of Dreamcast and Raspberry Pi. It's the Raspberry Pi with the DreamPi software on it that allows us to connect to the internet again. You could think of it like this. The Raspberry Pi gets the information from your Wi-Fi network, and then it translates it so your Dreamcast can understand it with this USB modem that goes into this phone line that in turn goes into your Sega Dreamcast. Believe it or not, there's actually quite a few games that support the DreamPi. The only other alternative that we could possibly have for getting our Sega Dreamcast back online these days would be the very expensive and highly coveted Broadband adapter. Yep, this is a piece of technology that came out back in the day that allows us to connect an Ethernet cable to our Dreamcast and get online that way. You can still find these online on eBay and other sites like that, but they're pretty much always going to be at least a little bit more expensive than the DreamPi. Both of these solutions are great, but they both have their positives and negatives. Arguably, the DreamPi is going to be the most compatible device with every game that you're going to come across that has online gameplay. However, the Broadband adapter seems to work a lot better with the game Outtrigger. If you're unfamiliar, Outtrigger is a first-person shooter that was based on online gameplay on the Sega Dreamcast released by Sega. I think this was their attempt to compete with Unreal Tournament and Quake III, games like that. It's actually a really fun arcadey first-person shooter that recently got added to the list of compatible DreamPi online games. I tried it out with my DreamPi, and unfortunately it was a messy, laggy experience, and I had zero control over my shots. I kept dying before I even knew I was getting shot at. I learned much later that this is an issue with the DreamPi specifically. The game works so much better with a Broadband adapter. Even so, most of you that are interested in getting your Dreamcast back online should probably look towards the DreamPi instead of the Broadband adapter just to future-proof yourself. A new game might be added in the future that you're really interested in, and it probably will not be compatible with the Broadband adapter over the DreamPi. But who knows? It's kind of difficult to determine whether or not that's going to be true unless we actually have it in front of us, and it all depends on the game too. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, and I mean the reason that most of you would want to get your Sega Dreamcast back online again, and of course I'm talking about Phantasy Star Online. This is such a great MMO, and it's actually the first console MMO ever made. Believe it or not, there's still a very large community of people that enjoy playing this game online still. Whether it's on your Dreamcast with the Broadband adapter, or the DreamPi, or if you're emulating it on your computer. Yeah. You can actually emulate the Sega Dreamcast on your computer and still play it online with Dreamcast users. What I really love about this Dreamcast Online thing is that you have a ton of options for connectivity. There's not a one and done solution. You have multiple different ways of getting your Dreamcast back online, which is a great thing. But if you're a stickler for original hardware like me, then you'll probably want to go the DreamPi route. That being said, this device is not perfect. I've had a few issues with it myself. Namely, most recently, I decided to buy a second DreamPi unit. The reason that I wanted to do this is so my girlfriend Emily and I could play Phantasy Star Online together. I have 2 Dreamcasts in my house. One is equipped with the GDMU, which is an optical drive emulator, and if you're interested in that, I have an entire video all about it. My second Dreamcast is equipped with the old GD-ROM drive. So I've got 2 Dreamcasts and I want them both online at the same time so we can enjoy this game together. Didn't exactly work the first time we booted it up, and I couldn't figure out why, until I checked out the Dreamcast Live website and found the frequently asked question. Apparently it's not possible right out of the box to boot up multiple DreamPies and connect to the same network. The reason for this is because the DreamPi actually has a Dreamcast IP, and all of the DreamPi units are the exact same IP. So in order to change this, you can either drag and drop a file onto the DreamPi itself, or you can get into the DreamPi and type in some code and change a couple of things. You could do this for multiple DreamPi units if you wanted to have a giant Phantasy Star Online party in your house with 3 or 4 Dreamcasts if you wanted to. But for my purpose, I just wanted 2 Dreamcasts connected so we could enjoy the game together. What I've learned from that process is that it's not always straightforward, but there is always a failsafe to go back to, and that is just rewriting the DreamPi image on your DreamPi. I'm pretty sure that this is a Linux-based software on the DreamPi, but you can still use a PC to get this to work. All you have to do is drag and drop the image that you'll find in the Dreamcast Live forums, drop it onto your DreamPi, and there you have it. You're starting over from scratch again. I was worried that I did something wrong when I went through to replace the text. I thought I might have screwed something up and potentially fried my DreamPi, but luckily PC Wizard, who is the genius behind this device, was really kind, really helped me out when I sent him an email regarding my issues, and he responded almost instantly. But just to make sure you don't make the same mistake that I did, just know that if something goes wrong and your DreamPi is acting up, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, you can always just rewrite the image and essentially reset it to default factory settings. So after my first attempt at changing the IP on the Dreamcast through the DreamPi, it didn't exactly work. I don't know what was happening, but I couldn't connect anymore. So I kind of panicked. I reached out to PC Wizard. I asked what's going on, and he recommended that I just reflash the image on the DreamPi itself, essentially resetting it back to the way it was. So I did that, and I dragged and dropped the image, and all of a sudden I was connected, and we were both connected together. Now I know how ridiculous this is. Having 2 Dreamcasts connected to the internet in 2026 and beyond is kind of strange, and it takes a special kind of person to want to do this, but if you are that special kind of person, you're going to love it. It's really, really cool. And yes, we could just emulate the game on our computers and do it that way, but there's something special about it, man. Connecting this 25 plus years console back to the internet again. It's a really, really unique experience. Even Emily, somebody that doesn't have nostalgia like I do for this console, did not grow up with it, didn't grow up with a lot of retro video game consoles. Even she had to stop every once in a while to acknowledge just how cool this is. And she said something like, you know, we're probably the only 2 people in Central Arkansas right now that are doing this. And knowing Central Arkansas, she's probably right. So if you want to get that DreamPi for yourself, it cost me about $115, and that's with shipping to get the entire kit shipped to you, ready to hook up, ready to go. I highly recommend it because it's such a straightforward way of getting your Dreamcast back online, and you have so many games to choose from: Phantasy Star Online, Quake III, and there's some type of Minecraft type game called Classic Cube on the Dreamcast as well that I've yet to check out yet. So there's a lot of potential there with that DreamPi, and there's a lot of bang for your buck. And I've got to say, my first DreamPi, I think I bought in like 2017 or something like that. I've left that sucker plugged in with power all this time. I've never really taken it off of power, and it works just fine. I know that's probably not a smart thing to do, but if you've seen my setup, you'll understand why. I've got everything on a wire rack, all of my almost 30 consoles hooked up, and that's where the DreamPi stays, connected to the Dreamcast, because my idea with this setup is that I want to be able to turn on anything that I possibly want and get to playing whatever game that I want with minimal fuss. So if you're looking to upgrade your Sega Dreamcast and get back online with some like-minded individuals, whether it's on Quake III or PSO or some of the other weirder games that the DreamPi supports, I can highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check this out for yourself. And right after I tell you where to find this DreamPi, we have to get to the biggest negative about the DreamPi, and that is simply availability. The DreamPi is not always for sale. It only comes up for sale every now and again because Understandably, it's a very niche thing that only a few weirdos like myself and probably you would be interested in. That being said, it's super affordable at around 115 bucks shipped, and you can use it for years and years to come, so it's an investment for sure. I dabbled with the idea of getting a petition together to send to PC Wizard once the DreamPi was out of stock. I want people to have the option to get a DreamPi whenever they want to get it. As of the making of this video right now, the DreamPi is still in stock, so if you're interested, I would jump on it now rather than later. The DreamPi website is actually pretty strict. Do not email if you're asking about whether or not they are in stock. You'll see that on the website if they are in stock, and you just kind of have to wait. After I bought my first DreamPi, I kind of forgot about the website because I was busy enjoying the purchase that I'd made. I had no reason to check it out. But it's been a long time, and every once in a while they will pop up and then they'll go out of stock. One more important thing to note is that you don't exactly have to wait to purchase the DreamPi if you are savvy with building one yourself. Now, I would say that this isn't exactly a super complicated process, but it is a little bit over my head. I don't think I would be capable of doing this myself, but it does sound simple enough. You just need a Raspberry Pi, and you can download the DreamPi image from the website. There's a big chunk of it right there. What I'm more concerned with is finding the USB modem. There's a specific type, I believe, that you have to connect to this, and like I said, it's a little bit over my head, but maybe some of you guys can figure it out, and if you do, let me know in the comments section below. I'd be very curious to know what you guys think about the DreamPi. Is hooking up your Sega Dreamcast back to the internet something that you'd be interested in, or do you think it's just not worth it? Let me know the answers to all those questions in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on Phantasy Star Online.